Hey guys, Josh, that was my kill here, and today we've got a long video for you, and it ends a bit sorely, but we'll get into it. I thought I'd record a video for Dojo. A lot of people are having issues beating it at the moment, and I haven't actually tried it. I don't claim to be amazing at Dojo. There are some people out there that take this quite seriously and know the ins and outs with spawn times and the best way to do this and that. I just kind of just wing it, I guess. So I sped it up a bit. The total run was about 24 minutes. That's the last time I looked at the timer. To be honest, it might be a bit longer. I was having issues with getting my decent sharp eyes and speed infusion to buff. So you may see me bring up my my skill inventory a few times to buff that up, and I've cut out the wait times in between those two things because I waited for my skills to cool down. So I guess I'll run you through how I found the new dojo and how I was able to get to the last boss, and well, you'll see what happens. But so originally, when we started Dojo, before this update, I would just use Big Bang to kill like 60% of the starting mobs, but they've changed that now, so they're a bit tougher. I don't know why I still use Big Bang. Maybe there's, a benefit to it. Maybe it boosts up. What's that skill called? Maybe it boosts up Arcane Aim. Maybe it boosts it up to a higher rank. Maybe. I don't know. Could do. Or maybe I'm just crazy. So I started using that before it, then quickly putting on Angel of Vengeance. Maybe that's what it's called, yeah. Avenging Angel. To then attack it with Angel Ray. Where are we up to? We're around 12 now. These guys are still pretty easily at the moment. I'm only 3 minutes in. I do like how they've added a little timer at the stage thing. I'm assuming you get kicked out if you don't kill something within that green sort of timer amount. As I said, I don't do Dojo PQ a lot at all. But killing mobs in MapleStory is what I'm good at, and you know what? That's kind of universal in all of the types of PQs or mob grinding. I don't know. So we'll go ahead, and once we get to a little bit higher, I'll explain how the best way to sort of pin these guys and attack them. So still at a pretty easy stage here. Skipping it again. I think around stage 20 is when the HP starts to get a bit ridiculous on these mobs. I can understand why they've done it. I can't say I agree with it. But I suppose if you just sort of plan out, unlike me, what you're going to do, you should be pretty safe with the buffs and all. It's good to maybe not use all of them on one mob and sort of stretch them out across the entire stage. Still, these are pretty simple bosses. Yeah, so the HP starts to get a bit more. It's also, this is going to be more for bishops, but I guess maybe other classes can take something from this, only if you're ranged. I mean, if you're going to be a warrior, you're pretty screwed either way, because you're going to have to be up close. But you can use the two statues, the two pandas. I use them a lot to sort of gauge where I'm going to stand, and where I shouldn't cross, essentially. Let's hope that the next group of bosses are a little bit stronger. Oh, did I cut this part out? So here you can see that I couldn't get to see my hotkey to work, so I was just opening it up, buffing it, waiting for all the things to cool down, and then heading in for the next round. Still using this big bang approach, not 100% sure if it's the best. Works for me though. So here's the first sort of instance where I show the pinning. I don't cross the very front of the statue there, and I just pin the mob against the wall on the right hand side. This is a really good approach because it sort of keeps them out of the range of them attacking you, or for most of them. This one's usually a pain because Angel Ray doesn't track at the moment, so it's just a straight line. And while he goes up, it's very hard for you to hit him. As you can see, it sort of stops attacking there when he goes up. But as you can see, if you stand behind there, you push him all the way to the right hand side, he sort of bugs out, I guess is a good way to phrase it, and he'll just sit there and look like he's, well, yeah. This one is not too hard. He does have the defense up. If you wanted to, you could probably dispel him and then keep attacking him. But I'm quite happy to just sit there and hit 2 mils for that mob. So we're up to almost 9 minutes now. And we're still killing, well, I would class them as the pretty simple bosses. This is, I've still got all my Empress equipped. I haven't even started with my my Root Abyss set yet. It's just sitting nicely in my inventory. As you can see, this is another example of getting him pinned against the wall. To be honest, this is going to be really repetitive, but it's the best way to do it. Just pin him, wait for your buffs to cool down. If you're a bit low on MP, then use Invincible. It'll boost it back up really quickly. Mostly just stand your ground. I mean, the Bishop is an incredibly versatile class. It's very, very strong if you put the funding into it, and it's a bit of a tank really. So just stand your ground, and wherever it spawns or whatever side, left or right, just push it against the wall. This one is a bit of a tricky one. I should have probably used Magic Shell or Bubble while I was standing there, but I mean 200 damage, it's not really that much. Alrighty, so round 28, this big cat has a lot of HP. But again, same sort of strategy applies. I was quite disappointed. I was like, oh, am I going to hit the 10 mil mark? No, didn't. And then Invincible runs out. I think that'll be my next goal, getting to 10 mil Angel Ray lines. Would be very nice. So this guy's... See, I don't quite understand the distribution of the bosses in this PQ. This guy isn't too bad. Like, he's very easy. And the next stage boss, Crimson Zack. I mean, Bishops get a pretty easy, because there's a few very elementally weak mobs that you fight. This being one of them. Normal Rog being another one. Wonder, do I skip this part? Hopefully. Yep. Alrighty, so round 31. This is where it gets a bit hard. If you're going to fight this bad boy, make sure you use Holy Magic Shell because he is a pain, and make sure you pin him as fast as you can because This guy and Griffey, the next guy, are a real pain in the ass when it comes to MP stealing. They don't steal it, but their attacks, do some damage, and it's just a pain. So you'll see in the next one, I will push him to the side and hope that he does not remove my MP, because that's the main thing you want to do in this PQ, is keep your MP up. And as you can see, he just sort of sits there on the corner. Decent sharp eyes definitely helps. I think the inner skill would work as well though, because I think they work by adding or removing 1 to the speed of the weapon. This is of course sped up a bit, if you couldn't tell. This one's the same thing. If you push him all the way in the corner, stand on the statue, his little snowball attack that he does can't reach you, and if you get him over there quick enough, then the ice cloud just won't be on you, which is what you want. I think it's 10k damage. It's always really frustrated me, the lag time between these bosses spawning. Now this one's a bit cheeky. Pap goes into his shell. Now Pap goes into his shell on the yellow animation, and I remember that from when I first decided that I was going to be a battle bishop, and I started training myself on how to solo Pap using Angel Ray that only hit like 1 line. I found it best to always cast Genesis or one of your ultimates as soon as you cast the yellow, so you would have just seen it there. And the same thing really applies. I mean, you can't stop him from going into his shell there. He's going to go into his shell no matter what. You just want to get as much damage to him as you can in the time being. Now this one's a bit of a pain in the ass because he jumps, but with sharp eyes and all of the speed buffs that you get as a bishop, hopefully it looks like each Angel Ray hit actually hits. Like you can see him jump, but like you just saw there, Angel Ray got him while he was up there. So it was just in time. So this guy's not much of an issue. The next one's a bit of a pain in the ass though. If you're stuck with me this long, you're only got about 2 or 3 minutes to go, so we're doing pretty well at the moment. Let's skip that part. Okay, so this is where it gets a bit technical. This boss is pretty simple, same deal. Just get him over to the corner. He's a bit quicker than the other ones, so just be careful. But it's the next boss, which is a pain in the bum. You want to walk into the next boss making sure that you have Invincible ready to buff and Bubble ready to buff, or even the Link skill from Mihail, the one that gives you stance, because you don't want to get knocked back, because that'll just ruin your time. So I've come into the Dodo with the assumption that I will kill it before Invincible lapses, but giving me like the most amount of power, like the tail end of Invincible, where you get the 8 and the 9 mil lines on Angel Ray. But I don't think that works out for me. So that might need some readjustments if I ever do this again. Probably, because as you'll see in a few minutes, I get a bit screwed over. So this guy's a bad one. Pin him as soon as you can. That's all I can really, advise on. if you pin him up there, then the only attack that he can do is the Ice Fall one. He won't recognize you as being in his range for the Stomp one, I guess, which is where we get suckered in because as bishops, our Angel Ray doesn't track. So it just goes in a straight line and we'll miss an attack, which screws us over with the timing. But, you know, hit him with your ultimates. And you should be fine. At the end here I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Let's move in and go for the kill. Alrighty, so now we've got the last boss, I guess you could call it. Last mob boss. And then after this one we go into fight the Panda Man. This one's pretty simple. Never really had any issues with this guy. I don't know if he ever had like a damage reflect cast in Dojo, but that would be a real pain in the ass if he did. He does go purple a few times, which does usually indicate that something's about to happen damage reflect wise, but doesn't pull it out, which is nice. Thank you very much, Nixon, for not making it utterly ridiculous. So it's pretty much just these past three bosses, which people have real issues with, I believe. But once you get through those guys, around 40 boss. I came into this one a bit unprepared. I had both my skills on cooldown. I got a bit excited with the Ice Horse. And for some reason I Holy Magic bubbled and was dodging the laser beams with teleport when I didn't really need to. Could just tank it right there with guard. So this is, I'm really shitty about this. As you'll see in about 10 seconds, I'm doing really well. My two buffs, Invincible and the other one, are going to go on cooldown, and I DC. I literally had my fingers on the keys to decast Vengeance and then use those two buffs and then buff back up. But yeah, no love for me. Alrighty. Well, I will try it again, and hopefully I'll have a full upload then. But until then, you get the disconnect at the end, which is a bit sore. But hey, what can you do? Alrighty guys, take it easy. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter @thatwasmykill or on my website thatwasmykill.com. Thanks a lot. See you soon.